The first video I made and uploaded was an after-action report of this scenario, the second mission of the Soviet campaign, the Cauldron. At that time, it was a playthrough of the standard campaign. I recently played through the March or Die campaign and I thought, why not make videos about the campaign with a narration? But not only this, there are also significant differences in the tactical approach which I take this time compared to back then. In the first video about the Cauldron 2 years ago, I bypassed most of the enemy defenders in the villages Wolf and Fürsteneck by advancing on the flank, advancing by the town Ufhausen, clearing the huge hill that dominates this area. The idea was to just focus on the objectives and preserve combat power. This time I attacked the defenders head on. That's not too difficult either, and it is interesting to notice that I do not take more casualties in comparison. You can approach along a chain of hills leading the formation near the village Wolf in full force. Then lay a smoke screen and the main attack can begin. So let's start. The 1st Motor Rifle Battalion, BMP, has its debut here. After achieving success in this mission by occupying the town of Eiterfeld, the 1st Motor Rifle Battalion will be back in the last mission of this campaign, spearheading the assault on Alsfeld. We start on map with 2 tank platoons and 2 motor rifle companies equipped with BMP tools. In comparison to the standard campaign, we do not have a ZSU Shilka in our formation. Instead, organic air defense assets in form of manpads. One of the many little differences of these two campaigns. We set up our mechanized force in classic pre-battle formation and will attack out of the marsh. The objective is the town of Eiterfeld. Eiterfeld is a small 1,200 years old town with a population around 7,000. To the order and plan. The Motor Rifle Battalion, arriving in waves, will achieve success by advancing along the flank, conducting an assault operation under the disguise of a smokescreen into the village Wolf, now considered a US strongpoint. Defeat and neutralize all enemy units in the sector, advance through Fürsteneck along the main road connection of Wolf-Fürsteneck-Eiterfeld into Eiterfeld and occupy the objective. Reinforcements, arriving in waves, will engage US forces in the wider sector, with a Schwerpunkt on the hill and mining complex near the village Ufhausen. The opposing US forces are from the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment and 3rd Armored Division. Softening enemy defenses by delivering preparatory fires on the strongpoint Wolf, suppressing and obscuring enemy weapon systems to reduce enemy standoff capabilities. When the assault begins, the artillery fire will move to Fürsteneck and adjacent restrictive terrain along the main roads of communications to isolate the strongpoint Wolf and facilitate the high-speed advance through Fürsteneck. And now the assault begins. infantry dismounts and supports the armored element. In Soviet military planning, the lead echelon of an advance had to neutralize enemy forces before they can occupy urban areas. When this is not possible, the lead echelon would bypass the city and continue their advance. This bypassed pocket of resistance would be cleared by following echelon forces. The Soviet planning, of course, knew that they would have to adapt to battlefield realities and necessities. The urbanization in Western Europe makes urban combat unavoidable. Bypassing urban areas is a theoretical approach to a tactical problem that needs to be addressed by commanders on the ground, and there are reasons to attack a city. For example, the city or town is key terrain. The area encompasses vital communications crossings. To protect an exposed flank as a diversionary operation, tie down enemy troops and reserves, or an operation is unavoidable due to the extent of urbanization. Isolated villages were classified by the Soviets as strong points. Cities and towns are classified by shape, population and perimeter. According to Soviet planning, an involvement in urban combat on the European continent would occur every 40 to 60 kilometers. The US forces involved are easily overwhelmed and neutralized by mid-range tank fire and close combat. The defenders lack infantry support to build an effective defense against our combined assault. After a short period of regrouping, the attack formation advanced into Fürsteneck, their movement obscured again by a smokescreen. This is important as US forces from the hill near Ufhausen hold overwatch positions covering Fürsteneck and the main road. You can wait and invest your reinforcements to occupy the hill and neutralize these firing positions, or you use just smoke. moving along the road and entering Altafeld. This part of the town is not heavily defended and easily occupied. And that's all. Thanks for watching, goodbye und auf Wiedersehen.